Wow, this depression, this weariness by Kevin Reeves. Keanu Reeves, excuse me. I always want to call him Kevin. Keanu Reeves. What an unusual name. What an unusual person. But listen to this scripture and listen to his reasoning and
You know,
understanding. It's powerful.
there was this period where everything felt heavy, like I was carrying something no one else could see, and I'd wake up every morning already exhausted before the day even started. I don't know, man. I don't know if you felt this, but it's like drowning in slow motion. Everyone around you is breathing fine, living their lives, and you're fighting to get through each hour. And the worst part is, you can't even explain it because from the outside everything looks normal. I remember
This has got to be a form of depression or more. I'm no psychiatrist, but it's just powerful, some of the wording and the verses
lying
that he
in bed
talks about.
thinking, what is wrong with me? I mean, I had everything I was supposed to have. Work that meant something, people who loved me. But inside there was this darkness that it wouldn't lift. And I was so tired. Not just tired like you need sleep tired, but tired in places I didn't even know could get tired. The thing is, I thought it was my fault somehow. Like I should be stronger than this. Like if I just tried harder or thought more positive thoughts or, I don't know, got my act together, it would go away. But that's not how it works, is it? You can't just
Forget Zoom.
and maybe
Yeah.
maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Maybe you're sitting there feeling that same weight pressing down on your chest, that same exhaustion that makes even simple things feel impossible. And if you are, listen, you're not broken, you're not weak, you're not failing at life. You're carrying something heavy, and it's okay to feel tired. I was searching for something, anything, that might help me breathe again.
Now, isn't it interesting? We're not talking about coaching here. We're not talking about uh, self-help programs that just really don't work. We're talking about a spiritual hunger and need here, which goes beyond normal coaching, normal self-help. Talking about a spiritual need here to really help us get through the darkness that exists in this world. There's real darkness in this world, and we need greater light, spiritual light from Jesus Christ, Heavenly Father, and Holy Ghost to really get through it uh, and do more, be more, become
Because
more.
that's all I wanted, just to feel like I could breathe. And I was searching for something, anything that might help. I was so tired, not just in my body, but somewhere deeper, like there was this exhaustion living in my bones, in my soul, and I couldn't shake it no matter what I did. I remember waking up in the morning, and before I even opened my eyes, I was already defeated by the day. You know that feeling where you haven't even gotten out of bed yet and you're already done? Like the day is asking too much of you and it hasn't even
Oh,
started. It's like, imagine you're carrying a backpack full of rocks, but no one else can see it. So you're walking through your life, trying to keep up with everyone else, but every step takes twice as much effort. And people are looking at you wondering why you're moving so slow, why you can't just keep up. But they don't know about the rocks. I remember thinking, why is everything so hard? Simple.
they don't know about the rocks. And we're talking about emotional health here. We're talking about spiritual health, which goes into financial strength, which goes into relational strength, which goes into purpose and drive, and divine help, which covers all these other areas. Because we have a spirit inside our physical body, which is hungering for greater light and truth, but we've never before been in such a dark world, such a physical body, such a difficult financial and emotional darkness. Remember, we came from a celestial sphere and we're now going down to a telestial sphere, and there's only one area lower than this, and that's hell. Think about that. So, do we need light? Do we need help above and beyond our own? Absolutely.
thing, like taking a
Absolutely.
shower or making coffee or calling someone back, felt like climbing a mountain. And I'd look at other people just doing these things easily, and I'd wonder what was wrong with me. Why was I struggling with stuff that used to be automatic?
Now, and again, this happens with aging when your body breaks down. It happens with uh, medical challenges. It happens with financial challenges. But this world is going to challenge you in ways that no way that the spirit world could. No way that the spirit world could. Uh, it's just incredible. But it's purposeful because it will fine-tune our spiritual appetites, our spiritual strengths, our desire to get greater light and truth, and work with it to get us through where we need to go.
The worst part was the isolation, because when you're carrying that kind of darkness, you don't want to burden anyone else with it. So you learn to perform. You learn to smile when people ask how you're doing. You learn to say, I'm fine, even though inside you're drowning. And after a while, you start to feel like you're living behind glass, watching everyone else's life happen while yours just stops. I remember sitting in my car in parking lots, just sitting there because I didn't have the energy to go wherever I was supposed to go. Not crying, not dramatic, just empty, like someone had unplugged me and I was running on fumes.
Someone had unplugged me. The problem is we've got so deep into this darkness, and it could be a lot worse than this. This is bad enough, but it could be a lot worse. You could be on drugs. You could be in poverty. You could be a combination of both. You could be violent and emotionally messed up, physically messed up. Think about this. This is, some people do not make it through this life without getting into drugs, getting messed up, getting violent, getting into prison. They really get hurt bad, or they really do some stupid things. And some of us even do some stupid things, some self-destructive things, and we don't get into jail. We don't become violent, but we work on this self-sabotage. There's so many levels
And
of
sleep,
this.
man,
For years, I tried local dating apps, but everything felt
wasn't rest anymore. I'd sleep for 8, 9 hours and wake up more tired than when I went to bed. Because when your soul is exhausted, sleep doesn't fix that. Your body might rest, but that deeper part of you, that's still carrying all that weight. I think what people don't understand about depression is that it's not about being sad all the time. Sometimes you're not feeling anything. You're just existing, going through the motions. And that might be worse than being sad, because at least when you're sad, you're feeling something. I tried everything I could think of. Exercise, therapy, different routines, meditation, and some of it helped a little for a while. But nothing touched that deep exhaustion, that place where the real tiredness lived. And I started to wonder if this was just how I was going to feel forever. So I started looking for answers, for relief, for...
Now, isn't it interesting? I started looking for answers, relief, so forth, real rest. And where does he find it?
anything that might
That's
help me
coming
feel
up.
human again. And man, there's a lot of advice out there when you're struggling, you know? Everyone's got something that worked for them or that they think should work for you. I tried everything. Exercise routines, different diets, self-help books, meditation apps. I tried staying busy, keeping my mind occupied, and some of it helped for a little while. Like, I'd feel better for a day or two, maybe even a week, but then that heaviness would come back, and I'd be right back where I started. The thing is, I was looking for rest, but I didn't even know what real rest was. I thought rest was just not being busy, or sleeping more, or taking a vacation, but that's not That's not the kind of rest I needed because my soul was tired. And you can't fix soul tiredness with surface solutions. I remember thinking that maybe if I just distracted myself enough, kept busy enough, the darkness would go away. But distraction isn't healing, is it? It's just postponing. It's like putting a Band-Aid on something that needs surgery. But here,
Isn't that interesting? We're talking about emotional sickness, a spiritual sickness, a spiritual healing. That takes divine light, divine power. It takes Jesus Christ. He's going to get into that in a moment.
here's
And
what
he's
I've
going to get
learned,
into a
and maybe
verse.
you've learned this too. Temporary relief isn't enough when you're dealing with something this deep. You can have a good day, even a good week, but if the foundation is still broken, you end up right back in that dark place. I was looking for something real, something that could reach that place where the real exhaustion lived, not just management strategies or coping mechanisms, but actual restoration. I wanted to feel.
Now, isn't that interesting? Actual restoration. Here again, his spirit is telling him something his mind and heart didn't know. Actual restoration. The restored gospel is actual restoration. The Spirit and the gifts of the Spirit coming into the covenant path is actual restoration, covenant restoration. That's interesting that he would say that. So interesting. People don't know where to look, and a lot of churches don't give you an actual restoration.
Alive again,
Wow.
not just surviving, but actually living. And I think what I was really looking for was permission.
Hold on, I gotta make a comment here. This is too much. All right, so let's continue. I think you're really looking for was permission.
Permission to be tired, permission to not have it all together, permission to be weary without having to fix myself first. Most of the advice I was getting was about doing more, trying harder, being stronger.
The leader decides what I want.
Be stronger. What if I just needed rest? I started to realize that depression, real depression, it's not something you can just think your way out of or work your way out of. It's deeper than that. It's spiritual maybe. It's about your soul being depleted, and you can't refill your soul with life hacks. I was searching for something that could speak to that deep tiredness, something that understood that I wasn't just having a bad day. I was carrying weight that I couldn't put down on my own. And I was starting to think maybe that something didn't exist. And then I came across these words that changed everything. I was reading one night. I don't even remember what book it was. Something someone had recommended about finding peace or whatever. And buried in there, just mentioned in passing, were these words from Jesus, Matthew chapter 11. I almost skipped over it. I mean, I'd heard Bible verses before, you know. They usually felt like nice ideas that didn't really connect with where I was. But something made me stop, maybe because I was so desperate for anything that might help. So I looked it up and I read these words. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. I sat there staring at those words. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, all you who are weary, not all you who have it together, not all you who are strong or figured out, all you who are weary. And I was so weary, bone deep, soul deep, weary. And here was someone not just acknowledging that weariness exists, but specifically inviting the weary to come. There's something about when you've been carrying weight for so long and when you've been tired for so long, to hear someone say, come to me, instead of try harder or think positive or just get over it. To hear someone say, I see that you're tired, come, and then I will give you rest. Not I'll help you manage your tiredness better, or I'll teach you to cope with being exhausted, but I will give you rest, like actual rest. the kind I'd been searching for and couldn't find anywhere. I think what got me was that it wasn't conditional. It wasn't come to me after you get your life together.
Now listen to this. This is so important. Come to me after you get your life together. No, wasn't conditional. And this unconditional love of Jesus Christ, this unconditional power is
Or come to me when you're worthy, or come to me when you stop being depressed. It was just, come to me because you're weary, and I'll give you rest. And then it said something that just broke me open. I am gentle and lowly in heart, gentle, not harsh with tired people, not impatient with those who are struggling, gentle and lowly in heart, like understanding, like someone who knows what it feels like to carry things. But the part that really got me was, you will find rest for your souls, not just your mind or your body, but that deep, tired place that sleep couldn't reach, that all my trying couldn't touch. Rest for your souls. I read it again and again, and I started to think, maybe this isn't just nice words. Maybe this is actually for me right now, in this moment, with all this weight I'm carrying. These weren't just nice words.
Think about that. What if these aren't just nice words, but it's really for me right now? It's all this weariness, all this heaviness, all this tiredness. What if it's more? And what if we can really come to Christ in faith, in humility, in diligence? And I know I'm putting conditions on it, but I think we have a price we need to pay to really have this weariness and this rest taken care of. Really, it's not a one-time deal.
Words. There was something alive in them, something that reached into that dark, tired place and said, you can stop carrying this now. I kept thinking about those words. Come to me, not figure it out first, or clean yourself up, or get your depression under control, and then we'll talk. Just come to me right now, as you are, with all that weight you're carrying. And that word, come, it's so immediate, not someday when you're ready, or after you've tried everything else. Come now, in this moment, while you're still tired, while you're still struggling, while you're still weary. What if the weariness isn't something to be ashamed of? What if it's actually the invitation? Like, what if being tired is exactly what qualifies you to come? Not your strength, not your having it all together stop, but your exhaustion. I've come to understand that there's something revolutionary about that, because the world tells us we need to earn rest. Work hard, then you can rest. Be productive, then you deserve a break. But this is saying, come on because you're tired. And then, all you who are weary and burdened, all, not some, not the special ones or the ones who have enough faith or the ones who pray the right prayers, all who are weary. And if you've ever carried depression, if you've ever felt that soul deep exhaustion, you qualify. But here's what really got me.
All over the earth.
You rest, give. Not I'll help you find rest or I'll teach you how to rest better. I will give you rest like it's something he has, something he can actually transfer to you. And I started thinking, what if rest isn't something I have to create? What if it's something I can receive because I'd been trying so hard to make myself feel better, to manufacture peace, to generate some kind of relief? But what if rest is a gift? Then there's this part that just, it changes everything. I am gentle and lowly in heart. Gentle. Do you know how rare gentleness is when you're struggling with depression? Most of the time, even from yourself, you get criticism. Why aren't you better yet? Why can't you just be happy? But gentle and lowly in heart. Not looking down on you for being tired, not impatient with your struggle, but lowly, like understanding, like someone who knows what it feels like to carry things, to feel the weight of being human? What if there's someone who doesn't see your depression as weakness, who doesn't see your weariness as failure, who looks at your exhaustion and says, I understand, come to me. But the part that changed everything for me was, you will find rest for your souls, not just your mind, not just your body, but that deep, deep place where the real tiredness lives, that place that medication can't reach, that therapy can't always touch, that sleep can't restore. Rest for your souls, the kind of rest I didn't even know existed, not just the absence of activity.
I'm going to let it go here. You can finish this if you want. I'm 13 minutes into his 21-minute video. But I love this understanding, this appreciation of this verse. And there's many verses that can help you come to Christ. And not just in the Bible. We're talking the Book of Mormon has just as powerful, if not more powerful, verses in the fundamental gospel principles. The Doctrine and Covenants does too. His church story-wise and church organization-wise, that's needed so much. And then a little deeper stuff in the Pearl of Great Price, and more scriptures coming too than the Bible currently has, and more than the Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, and Pearl of Great Price. More scriptures actually coming. God knows the beginning from the end. He knows how tough these latter days are going to be, and we need to come unto Him and really get that rejuvenation, really get that restoration, really get that deep rest. We need to have the spiritual renewal that really awakens us and helps us and rests us. And we know that He's with us and working with us, and that we've come unto Him and we've been renewed. We've had that rest, and we've had that burst of new spirituality, of confidence, of increased faith, increased humility, increased diligence. So there is just so much more to this, so much more to this. Okay.